Hello everybody, welcome in a third part of conclusions. These two knives, as I promised, this is in my room. It is really hot outside today. Anyway, I got a little bit help here on my tablet with the specification both of these knives, and today we will talk like something in the end about length and weight and another things, and I give you my that's important, my final say thoughts and maybe hints if you want to buy one of these knives. Is very important to know both of these knives are expensive, so I think it is good to know if you like this blade shape, which of these knives can serve you better. So we'll start with the Thom Browne Trakker. I'm using information from Top's website, so that's important. So over length should be 11.88 inches or 30.17 centimeters. So that's over length. Blade length should be 6.38 inches or 16.2 centimeters, and we are talking about blade from here, from the handle to the tip. So it is basically 16 centimeters blade. That's nearly inch shorter than a K-bar is. So you know, it's pretty short knife. You know, and not light. It's very heavy, but it's really short knife. Cutting edge, that's very interesting information on Top's website, because in this description I don't know what they mean by the cutting edge, because there is 4.25 inches and I don't know from where to where. You know, this is or count. So this on the drawing knife is I got measurement here. It's from the teeth, from the teeth to the last part of the actual edge is 6 centimeters, which is 2.2 inches, should be like that. So 2.2 inches, and if we go from the teeth to the tip, we got about, let's say, it is about 8.8 centimeters, which is 3.5 something, 3.5 inches from here to here. So I can find the 4.25. Well, I don't know how they did the measurement. I don't understand that. And there is secondary edge, which I think is this one, should be 2.13 or 5.4 2.13 inches or 5.4 centimeters. But you know, if you go straight away down from the teeth, so the edge is starting in the angle here, so maybe they measured that one. Yeah, so that should be this one. So from this position down under the teeth to the very end of the really cutting edge is 5.4, so 5.4 centimeters. So they're counting like this one. I'm counting from here to here, so from the tip of the teeth to the end of the cutting edge as a 6 centimeters. So we got this one. We can find this measurement where they talk it, but this is not for 4.25. So I don't know if they count it like, I don't know, from the start here to somewhere here. I don't know. I don't understand that. It's very very confusing. Anyway, so we got 16 centimeters. We got about 6 centimeters here and nearly 9 centimeters here. That's important to know. So, and if we want to talk about the real cutting edge from start here to tip, well, we can do it. We can do it also. We can do it also. We are 14 and a half centimeters, which is a little bit less than 6 inches. 6 inches, yeah, just a little bit less than 6 inches. We are talking about the real edge from this point to this to the tip. Yeah. So that's another thing. The thickness should be 6.35 millimeters or a quarter of an inch. Blade steel is 1095, of course. With Rockwell 56 to 58. I believe the 56 should be on spine and 58 should be the real edge. I don't know. We've got the coating here, which is very good because 1095 catching rust very fast. That's so it is good. As you can see, even I removed the coating here, so I'm keeping the coating everywhere on the blade where I can, because it's really serve. You know, you don't need to maintain the knife that much. You know, somebody take off the coating because for design, I think it is not really practical, but it's my vision. We got black linen micarta, we know it. The weight is 21 ounces, so which is 1.3 pound or 595 and something grams, so nearly 600 grams knife, this one. So, and weight with the sheet, which is important to know also, is 26 ounces. So these two whole package is 26 ounces or 737 grams. It is good to know if you got grams force brax. That's the small hatchet, force hatchet weighs 600 grams by itself. So this is weight same as the grams force brax hatchet, which is a little bit longer. Of course, it is hatchet, so it's better for chopping, but not for the another thing. So just for information. Well, and another important information are, so we got sheath, yes, from Black Kydex. We got these rotation steel clips which we can carry on a bell on side, I mean, or in a scout carry, return it. I really like it because I usually got this knife a little bit on the angle. I don't carry it as a scout style. I got it normal on my belt, but a little bit in angle, so it is more easy to use it. So you don't need to draw up, but a little bit up and you know, to the angle. You understand me. Designer was Tom Brown Trakker Jr. What is important on web page of Tops, you will pay for the knife $310 US. These price are taken I don't know, 2 weeks before this video, so it's very actual, I think. So $310 US with these micarta handles. As we know, you can buy there another sheet which is made by some Cordura with something inside, some plastic inside, and there is pocket side. You can find it there for, as I can remember, it's a long time I saw it, $50 US. I never seen someone use it, but you can buy it. And what is important, you can upgrade your handle for Black Rock or Rocky Mountain, something like that, as a handle. but you will pay a little bit more, $20 more. So you can buy the knife with these, say smooth handle, and with the Rocky Mountains shape, or I don't know. Somebody said it's hurting in hand. Okay, we will not talk about this. What is important, why I'm talking about it, is the prices for this one. So 310 US dollars. If you change the handle, you will pay a little bit more, so 330 US dollars. But what is important, of course, nobody will buy it on the Topps webpage because it is simply expensive. We go to DLT page. You can buy this knife, this model, for 210 US dollars. That's important. Well, we'll jump to Bark River Trakker. Overall length is 33.27 centimeters or 13.1 inch. Blade length is 7.5, so 7.5 inches, or 19.05 centimeters, which is simply 19 centimeters. Now we can go to the blade height. Oh, I didn't describe it there. That's important. This one is, as I can remember, 5.5 centimeters. Sorry, I will do it, the measurement in the widest part, which is 5.3, 5.4 millimeters, which is a little bit less than 2 inches. And on the Tom Brown Trakker, because it is really changing something for your carry options, because it's really wide, this is 6.2 millimeters. This one, this is 6.2 centimeters, and this one was the 5.2, yeah, 5.2, 3, 5.3, say. So it is nearly 1 centimeters, which is 0.4 about inches slimmer, if I can say like that. So you can see how wide is that. So then Bark River Trakker is looking like more normal knife, if I can say, because this portion is not that wide as normal. If you got some Bowie knife or something like that, you're really going close to that. On the Tom Brown Trakker, this is really wide. This is like it's a hatchet, or some machete or whatever, you know what I mean. So you could concentrated weight a little bit to this point, because it is simply wider, so that you got more weight here. So go back to the Bark River Trakker. Come on. Well, so we got the blade height here. Thickness is 6.73 millimeters, or 0.265 inches. So compare it to that. Tom Brown Trakker 6.35 millimeters, and this one is 6.73. So we got 3.3 millimeters. It's really nothing. It's really nothing. It's a little bit simple, a little bit wider, but not that much. Well, we don't have actually. This knife is made by A2 tool steel, and we don't have now, or I didn't find any information about how hard the blade is. I don't know. Well, we go further. We will measure. So the drawing knife, if they can compare, I'm usually do it, as I said, from the top of the teeth to the very end of the real cutting edge, so where I can use it. And this is a little bit longer. This is a little bit 6 point something 6 point, you know, it is not exactly measured, of course, but it is 6.1 centimeter, 6.1, and we had it here to 6 nearly. So these measurements, these parts, the drawing knife on these knives are pretty much the same. This is 6.1, above this is 660 centimeters. So we are still going in the 2, as I said, 2.2, 2.3 inches of the drawing knife blade. So it's very, very close to the Thom Browne Trakker. So pretty much same. What is important, of course, this is the convex grind and this is the hollow grind. That's really different. Well, we're going to the next part. I will measure this part at the moment, just for us to know. I don't need it, sorry. So it is not exact, I'm sorry, but it's not exact, but I hope you get, I think, the good information if you want to buy it, because these knives are really different. So this is about 11 point something centimeters, so from here to here, so 11 point something, so that's 4 inches, 4.35 inches, this one, yeah. And what is different is, of course, this part, you know, from the teeth to about here, because that's something what changing or what is making this knife different from this, because the usage of this knife is a little bit different. So, and we got this one. Yeah, that's great. So about from the teeth to about here, this is 5 centimeters, and as you can see, this is nearly straight edge, nearly, not the curvature starting a little bit here, but we've got nearly straight edge, and because it is little bit to the in the angle to the point, but just a little bit. This one is working more like a machete, you know, or an axe, because this one is plating wood down, like pressing wood down, and then it chops. Well, sorry about that interruption. So we got the principle here of the cutting blade. You go down, I said you just pressing the wood or material which you are chopping, and then the edge come through. Not with this. This is simply slicing the wood from the very beginning of the impact, because the curvature. That's something why this knife can still work. The grind of these knives is really important because, as I a little bit put this, that's the hatchet which I spoke about it. The grind is a little bit on the Thom Browne Trakker is close to this hatchet, and that's why Thom Browne Trakker like bites deep, even if this edge is shorter. So it bites deep, and then, you know, something from the wood is going out. If we are talking about Bark River, the grind, especially here on the chopping part, is very close to those. This is the Ritterling's axe. Maybe you know that. You know this knife, this axe. So see the grind here, and the blade shape is convex. So this knife, the Bark River, is very close to this. I can tell you from the feeling different if I chop with this knife and this knife. It's pretty much same if I chop with this knife, this axe and this axe, and not because the length and weight and whatever, but because the grind. As I said, Thom Browne Trakker is biting deep. That's something which like chew material out a little bit faster in my vision. And with this you can go to, I think, any tree or branch or whatever you need, if you got the time and of course energy. This is simply not bite the deep, it is just bite something and trash it off, because the angle, because the grind, same as I do with this. When I chopped a couple of trees with that, of course it was only dry trees. That was very interesting because I didn't have before any axe with this grind. Most of my axe just bite deep. This one not. This one was just bite a little bit and a little bit and a little bit. Or, you know, comparing is not. It was not just a bit, but you can feel it. Simple, like when the edge went too wide, then the axe stops biting in and just destroying the wood by the energy and angle and whatever. And this is exactly how I feel these two knives. So this is great, and this is of course better for splitting, and you know, but I think this grind, because it is knife, it is not hatchet, this grind will be better here. But you know, it's just my opinion, because another thing is, you know, we know this is the convex grind is probably the best one. You know, you can use it for everything you need. But what is advantage of this knife against this knife is that you got two different grinds. This one, the hollow grind, for easy task, and this one for something hard. That's very important. This knife don't have it. Wow, that's okay. I went a little bit further. So we did the measurements. We had this one, and we got, as I said, this is 33.27. So basically, we got 33 points for 27 and 30.17. So as is factory describing difference in length between these two knives is 3.1 centimeter, 3.1 centimeter, which is about 1 inch and quarter, about 1 inch and quarter. So this is 1 inch and 1/4, so 1 inch and 1/4, 6 millimeter. That's something, you know. And if you hold them, they don't look like that, but they are really. So it's interesting. Going further to another thing, weight of this knife is 22.77 ounces or 1.42 pound or 654 grams, which make this knife 60 grams heavier. And or counting for pounds, it is 0.12 of pound or 1 ounces, 1.77 ounces heavier. Yeah, you know. So it is a little bit different. I don't know if your package is really that exact, that you are talking about tenth of grams or 50-60 grams, because it is pretty much nothing, especially if you packing in, you know, your tent or you know, your outside stuff. So 60 grams, maybe if you go to some expedition where you really do something, you don't want to go over some weight, it is important. But for me, it is not. Because this knife is a little bit heavier and a little bit longer. Of course, you got more leverage, so the chopping power is probably more bigger and better. Well, sheath material is is leather, as we spoke about before. I actually made a sheet for myself with the tech lock, and simply for me this much useful now. Yeah, you know, that's my tracker sheet, this new one. So it is roughly done, it's not finished, but for me it is much more useful now. Then that is why this is staying in my room at the moment. Well, go back to the price on Bark River page. There is no price, but on DLT you can find a Bark River Trakker with many kind of handles. They are starting on $299 US and carry on to 386, nearly 400 US, depend on this. Steel is always the same. There is no option in steel on this knife at the moment. Most models I would say are around 320 to 350 US. So if we are talking about some you know basic models, the really is simply 300 US, which is, that's important to know, which is 90 plus, over $90 more than Tom Brown Trakker. So this knife cost you $90 plus, so 90 to 120 in the mid range. So that's really something, you know. You got one and a half this knife for this. You know, they said it's craftsmanship. I will not talk about because my wasn't good crafted, you know, about it. So I didn't finish it yet. I did the sheet because it's more important for me. And after, I think next week, I will start to regrind the tip. So craftsmanship, you know, hard to say. Yeah, I'm user, so don't take it me wrong, but somebody say, okay, this is handmade knife, this is machine knife. Okay, but I'm user. I like to have good knife for the price. You know what I mean? If I want to have the knife like full custom from some maker, I can have kind of this knife from some famous maker for pretty much same price as this knife is. I mean the total price. Of course, there will be included everything, shipping, whatever. But important is, if I pay the same price from my pocket will go for a really custom knife made here from some very good knife maker in my country, and that will be original. You know what I mean? So this is not original. There is hundreds of these knives on the world. That knife will be for the same price, just one, and probably better crafted than this one is. So you know, don't take me wrong, but somebody said, okay, but think about you pay for the handmade knife. Okay, but some especially tip imperfections 4 millimeters different. You know, that means something. Someone say, okay, that's you know, they made by hand, so they can do it. No. If you ever seen some crafters, whatever, if they make the wardrobes, you know, I got my friend which is doing this one. They do everything by hand. They are very, very accurate. You know, they do. You can find these. So you know, this is simply, yeah, this is a handcrafted knife, but simply somebody felt on this. So just say, basically about I am happy with the knife, everything, but I said, and I am not the one, as I saw another many videos on different from Bark River, there is plenty imperfection in the grinding. So don't take me wrong, but for the price, you know, I can even see the imperfections just for the first look. You know, I don't mean say, okay, what is that? I can see it immediately. So if someone is really doing the craftsmanship and making the knife, if he just took it out, he must see that. You know, so back to the point, I don't care if this is machined knife, if this is handmade knife or semi-handmade, something like that. This one is 50% price plus than this knife. I don't know what is exactly how A2's tool steel is much better than 1095. I don't think there is that big difference. It's not something any from this steel is some premium material like CPN 3V, 35V, and whatever. These are simply tool steel or carbon steel, just some basics. O1, A2, 1095, 5160. That's pretty close steels for me. I mean, in the price range, and you know the price of these knives are really far away from itself. So finally, if I pay for the knife that money which I said over the $300 of course, plus everything, that's just price of that. Well, I don't know if this knife can serve you better than this knife. You know, it's something different. It's up if you are a good user. And as I said, this knife got the huge advantage of this hollow grind. That's really something. You know, you can skin. It is not very easy because the knife is long. You know, the blade is, and you know, you can do pretty much everything. What is important also in these knives is you can choke it up. If you go here, if you can see, I am nearly on the blade, not here. I am 1 centimeter far from the real edge. Well, that's something, you know. Somebody say, okay, just we got enough close. The finger is close enough to the edge, but still I will be happy if there will be, you know, if I can go closer. This knife is, it's great. You know, you are nearly there. You are practically on that position, so you can do this one. You can do this. You can choke up here very nicely. That's great. That's great. So we go further. So we spoke about all details. I mean, materials and whatever. Now I spoke about like how these knives are made as overall. I like this one more for this because it is machined. Everything is equal to the other side. You know, I had no complaints about that. Problem was, as I said, the secondary bevel. But that was not problem of how they made the knife, the makers, but somebody simply made the design and made it like that. That was wrong idea for me in my eyes. So you need to regrind this, but you know, both sides was equal. You know what I mean. Not in this knife. We spoke about it. So carry options, the carry options of these. I said I like this one more. This one looks more like nicely and whatever, but this one is more practical. We spoke about it. That's why I made this knife for my Bark River Trakker. To possibility to draw the knife just by one hand, doesn't matter which one is that, from the original sheath, of course, I think is something in game also. As I said, you need to control this, go around, don't cut everything around, and then if you go back, especially you have to be careful about the side, as I said. So, well, that's something, but you know, the sheet basically is, in my eyes, in high quality, is no doubt about. It's just, you know, I don't know how they are comfortable in your hand. You can see it. So this is more grind. You know, you are more here. You should be more here, like more comfortable here in this handle. What is important? My hand is smaller, so when I grab the knife and I'm using long time, these parts are digging into my bones. I spoke about it in I think it was the first video. So it is very comfortable, but if I will chop with this knife long time, I think this bone will be not really happy with that. But for the comfort, for the first touch, yeah, I feel it how it's going into my bones, but it's very smooth, very very nice. Somebody said, okay, you got a finger here on this part always. One of these finger will always be some hair. Same here, same here. See that? Always one finger will be on this point, all the time. So that's pretty much. So this handle is much more nice, much more contoured. In my eyes, it's too wide. I don't know why, but okay. Yeah, I can stand it. The hook here or here, when you chop without any lashing, both of these knives are great. So you don't need to be worried if you chop not for a long time that the knife will go out from your hand. No, both of these knives are great for that. So the contouring on these handles, on this handle, is better than here, but to practical use, I didn't find any big difference. Just for the look, this one is much more nice. Everything looks like great. So that's how you can handle the knife. And the choking up, as I spoke, see how close I am to real edge. Choking up it's something, especially with the grind here. So this is very, very comfortable knife for easy tasks. That's great. We spoke about the basic blade shape. If you don't like this blade shape, it's not knife for you. The teeth here, somebody say, why is there? If the edge will come through in normal way, yeah, that will be great. If you don't have two different grinds, yeah, it is question. In my eyes, when you chop, you know about energy. If you got something bigger and the edge will come here, so the edge will stop immediately when it touches something. It will take energy from the swing. If you got something like that, say, and you will cut this one until this one will be touch of something, and you are here, so the energy is concentrating simply to the small part, which is more powerful. We know that. That's only something what I say. Somebody use okay, of course we can use it as a draw knife, the hook for kindling. Both of these knives working great for it. So you got small kindlings for fire starting and whatever. Even you can use the teeth for open of something. Just press it down and just use it. Yeah, you can, but I think the most point is if you got two different grinds, yeah, that's changing situation. If you have just one grind, well, it is not that necessary. This hook is not that something huge. I think it's basic design. The saw on the back of the spine is something I like it. I spoke about it, so that's it. For me, it is advantage here. So that's something. That's usefulness of the blade. So final feeling about these knives. Both of these knives are great, and now I will now I will speak about this like pluses and minuses, or cons. But don't take me wrong, because some of plus can be a minus in different situations, especially blade length or weight. You know what I mean. So we'll start with Thom Browne Trakker. So I got a plus here. The saw weight, because it's we said about 50 grams, 60 grams lighter than the Park River. Compact size, you can pack it really to small packages. As I said, this include the sheet. It is 32 centimeters maximum. So it's very compact knife. It's heavy, yeah, but as a chopping tool, you know, surviving tool, is very compact knife. The River Trakker in the original sheet. Is, yeah, you can see that it is a little longer. We got 30. Yeah, you can see, but you can trust me with that. We got 35. So we are that longer. You know, maybe depend of your bag. Somebody got smaller bag, you know, and if you need to put there something shorter, so it is really hard to put there something longer. You know what I mean? Yeah. When I change the sheet, the length of this knife in the sheet is 30. So we are on 34. So it is 1 centimeter long, shorter here. So yeah, not big, but we are closing in. We are closing in with this knife. Yeah, but you know, it's not something something wrong. Well, what is important, because the edge is shorter, so you are more safe. You know what I mean. Knife is lighter and shorter, so when you do some tasks, simply you got this knife more in a control. That's something. Coating. Well, coating is something. Coating, I said, it is good for it's guarding your edge against the rust. And Kydex sheet as a base, great. And of course, price minus $100. Wow, that's something. Moment. To the minuses with this tops tracker. The one biggest minus is you need to reprofile the edge. That's something really annoying. There isn't the hollow grind, which is back to the last point. The hollow grind here will be excellent. As I described before, maybe if you pry much, you can break the blade here where the last teeth is. Maybe 1095 is catching rust like nothing. You know, it's really, you need to really care about that. There is not that contoured handle like in the River Trakker is, but I don't care basically. The missing 3 centimeters part here, as River Trakker has, changing situation, you know, we spoke about it. But this is the plus and minus together. If you need a compact size, this is great. If you can have longer size, this is better option. Something important, if you use fire steel, you got the coating here, you can't simply. Or of course, if you don't want to go through the edge, that's why I strip it off the coating here, and then I can use fire steel with the knife here. River can do it immediately. So that's something like plus and minus on the tops. If we go to plus and minus River Trakker, we got the plus as a plus. We got that 3 centimeters longer reach, and on the right position, that's important. Very nice contoured handle, you know, very nice, really, and for the first look, beautiful. we got two kind of grinds, as I said, the convex and hollow grind. That's absolutely great. You can use immediately fire steel, and in my eyes, I don't know, but my experience is this A2 tool steel is less catching corrosion than 1095, but Topps got a coating and Bark River doesn't. Well, so we'll see in the future. Of course, I care about this mostly with WD-40, but if I need to take off something more, then I use another things, of course, like everyone, you know. So it is all right at the moment. There are some marks, but it is as a color from the barks from the previous chops. It is not rust, so I don't care about that. Oil is there, so I'm all right with this. As a minus, blade length, you know, that's the other side. You know, if I need compact size, this one. Because of the length and a little bit more weight, you know, you need to be more careful when you use this knife. It's simply longer, heavy. This hollow grind is sharp as hell, so you need to be more careful. That's something. Weight plus, say 50 or 60 grams, not that much. It's about 3 ounces, 2.5 or 3 ounces. Well, we'll see. There is possibility, as this particular knife, imperfection manufacturing. As I said, you know that the tip and basically the grinding. This grinding is starting more down, 4 millimeters down than grinding on this side. I don't care about this one that much. You know, there are some millimeters here around here. Don't care. That's not big deal. But the point, unequal point, you can see it, especially on my head. You can see it here. So, well, there is a saw, which I like to have it there, and the leather sheet, as I said, is nice, good, and quality, high quality, or whatever, but for me it is impractical. It's just my opinion. Well, so we are going to the end of this video finally. If I say something in the end, if you want to have cheap, good serve, lighter, more useful for your package, whatever, buy this one. If you don't care about money and you got some full-size knife which got two different grinds for different tasks, which will be longer, heavier, so you can serve more in more tasks, more replacing your hatchet because the reach and weight and whatever, go to this. But if you can choose the knife by itself, take it to your hand, check it out, and then choose. If you buy it on internet, you never know what you buy. On the Topps knife, you can be 99.9% sure that every single knife will be in same condition. Now it is, you know, it is not personal. Just it is experience, and not only mine. That's important. If both companies take the ideas together, so this one is great option, better option, with the teeth, as I said, with the properly grinding, as the Topps doing. Doesn't matter if this is like a half handmade or handmade, I don't care. I like to have good knife. That's important for me. And put the saw on the side, and it will be better. Make the edge a little bit thinner, say 6 millimeters is enough, not 6.3, 6.7. 6 millimeter for survival knife, in my eyes, is enough. Made, in my eyes, made it from CPM 3D steel. That's something that will change all the situation. put the hollow grind to the knife and use a Kydex sheet, which you can take it in more options. I mean, for holding is light, short, very practical. So these are like my hints for everyone or anyone who is thinking how to improve, how to make this kind of knife better. So CPN 3V, this size, 2 grinds, great handles, Kydex sheet, you know, careful about details, put a saw here, and I think that tracker knife coming from these, that will be unbeatable in my eyes. In my eyes, I like this. So thank you very much for your attention. It's a very long video. I didn't expect that, but I hope it gives you some information. And see you on third tale, which will be, I hope, much more shorter about companies. Have a nice time. Bye.